Hello everyone, welcome to the video for Edexcel Mathematics Past Paper Solution. This is Core Mathematics C12 International Advanced Level and January 2018. So let's start now. Question number 6. F of x is equal to ax cubed minus 8x squared plus bx plus 6, where a and b are constants. When f of x is divided by x plus 1, there is no remainder. When f of x is divided by x minus 2, the remainder is minus 12. Find the value of a and the value of b. This is part A, and factorize f of x completely. Okay, so let's just talk about part A. We need to find the value of a and b. Remember, whenever they ask to find some unknown, so like here, we need to find two unknowns which are a and b. So we need two different equations so we can solve these two equations simultaneously to figure out the values of these two unknown. And in order to find these two equations, we are given two conditions. So we can use these two conditions to form two equations. So the first condition is f of x is divided by x plus 1 and there is no remainder. That means x plus 1, so I'm writing here x plus 1 is, just for your understanding, x plus 1 is one of the factor of f of x. What is the meaning of factor? Remainder is 0. Remainder is 0 means if you put x equal to minus 1, look at this expression. This is x plus 1, and I'm saying if you put x equal to minus 1 in the function in place of x, that means if you do f of minus 1, you must get 0 because remainder is 0. This is the first condition that we can use to write our first equation. So now if f of x is ax cubed 8 and minus 8 plus b plus 6, so you can substitute minus 1, so you can say f of minus 1 is a into minus 1 whole cube minus 8 minus 1 whole square plus b times of minus 1 plus 6, and f of minus 1 is equal to 0. And if you simplify all these expression, so you have first equation, and you can do like a plus b plus 2 equal to 0. If you simplify these and take the common everything, on the other side you have a 0, so you have a final equation a plus b plus 2 equal to 0. This is your equation number 1. Remember, we are finding values of a and b, two unknowns, so we need two equations. One equation we have written here. Now let's just talk about, for the second equation, we are given the second condition. In this second condition, they said that x minus 2, when you is divided by x minus 2, the remainder is minus 12. Meaning, if you do f of plus 2 or just f of 2, why am I writing f of 2? Because x minus 2, and that's what we do. I can explain in some other lesson, because in fact x minus 2, so you can think that x minus 2 equal to 0, and you find x, so x is equal to 2. Same thing I did for x plus 1, that's why I put x minus 1 here. So x minus 2, that means if you put 2 in place of x in the function, then f of 2 must be minus 12 because remainder is minus 12. That's how you do. And if you put 2, so you have a into 2 whole cube minus 8 2 square plus b times of 2 plus 6 equal to minus 12. And if you simplify this equation, so you have 4a plus b minus 7 equal to 0. This is your equation number 2. Now we have two equations, so we can solve equation 1 and 2 simultaneously. It's up to you whether you choose a substitution method or what we call it elimination method. You can figure out value of a and b, and I am not solving here because of the timing, but when you solve simultaneously, so you must get a equal to 3 and b is equal to minus 5. So these are the values of a and b. Okay, part B, factorize f of x completely. In order to factorize f of x completely, I have values of a and b. So now I can rewrite our given function with the given values. So my function is f of x. Now my function has f of x equals to 3x cubed minus 8x squared minus 5x plus 6. This is my function, and I need to factorize these cubical equation. And how do I do that? Because if you read the first condition where they said that the f of x is divided by x plus 1 and there is no remainder, that means x plus 1 is the factor of this, is one of the factor. That's the key point that we can use. So we can use a long division method to find the quadratic factor from this, and then we can factorize that quadratic factor. So I will do it in the next page. So let's see. So the long division method is, I need to divide the function which is 3x cubed minus 8x squared minus 5x plus 6, and I'm dividing with x plus 1. So when you divide with x plus 1, so you need to think some variable, so you can write this variable here in this place. When you multiply the variable with this x, so you can get 3x cubed. Clearly it should be 3x squared. When 3x squared is multiplied with the x, so you can get 3x cubed, and then you need to multiply 3x squared with all the term and divisor. So 3x squared multiplied by x, 3x cubed. We always get the same term with the same sign, and then 3x squared is multiplied with the plus 1, so you have plus 3x squared, and then you change the sign to subtract. These two must be cancelled, and then in the rest of the equation is minus 8x, so it is minus 11x squared, and you can write rest of the term minus 5x plus 6, and then you do same thing. So you need to think some number here to which if you multiply this x, you can get minus 11x squared. Clearly it is minus 11x. If you multiply minus 11x, so you will have minus 11x squared, and then minus 11x, change sign, plus and then plus, they will be cancelled, and then minus 5x and plus 11x, your answer is 6x, and then plus 6, which is this one. And finally 6x, you need to think a number in the third place, so you can multiply this number with the first variable, you can get 6x, so clearly it is a plus 6, and you multiply this plus 6 with this x plus 1, so you will get 6x plus 6. Finally change the sign, and you can see that because we are using x plus 1, the factor of the function, so your remainder is 0. Now this is the quadratic factor of your f of x that I was talking about, and now we have a quadratic factor which is 3x squared minus 11x plus 6 from here. So I'm going now, generally what happen in these types of question, these quadratic factor is a factor which can be further factorized easily. You can factorize with the help of quadratic equation, or you can use complete square, with whatever method you suits, but generally it is factorized easily. So you can say that you can do 6 times 3 is 18, 18 and so 18, 6 times 3 is 18. So you need to think a factor of 18, and those factors are added to get minus 11. Remember, we multiply constant with the coefficient of the square term, we get 18, and we need to think the way or the factor of 18, and these two factors, if we add these two factors, this sign is same. If we add these two factors, we must get minus 11, and clearly it is minus 9 and minus 2. So 9 times 2 is 18, which is plus 18, and clearly if you minus 9 and minus 2, which is minus 11, that's what we need, and we are adding 9 and 2. So what do we do next? We break the middle term in minus 9 and minus 2, and we do like 3x squared minus 9x minus 2x plus 6. Now we have 4 terms, we can make a pair, and if you make a pair, you do all the necessary steps. Finally you have x minus 3 and 3x minus 2. These are two factors, and this is the cubic equation. There must be 3 factors, and the first factor we have already said, this one. So you can say that finally the factors are x plus 1, this is plus, x minus 3, which is the second one, or 3x minus 2. So these are the 3 factors. Question number 7, you are given a rectangular sheet of length 25 and height 15 centimeter, and this are some sides x and then x. So this is the rectangle box. Okay, now figure 1 shows a rectangular sheet of metal of negligible thickness which measures 25 centimeter by 15 centimeter square. Of sides x are cut from each corner of the sheet, and the remainder is folded folded along the dotted lines to make an open cuboid box, as shown in the figure 2. Okay, to show that the volume of volume V cm cube of the box is given by V is equal to 4x cube minus 8x squared plus 375x. We need to drive this equation. We need to show that the volume of the box is this. Okay, so let's go back to the diagram. What are they saying? That we have a rectangular sheet with the dimension 15 centimeter and 25, and x centimeters are cut from each corner, and when you fold along the dotted line, then you have a box. Okay, so remember, this is 25. That means if you cut x unit from that end and x unit from that end, the remaining length would be 25 minus 2x. And similarly, x from that side and x unit from that side are cut, so the remaining length would be 15 minus 2x. So meaning of all these thing is, you can say that length of the box must be 25 minus 2x. 25 minus 2x. This is the length of the box, and width of the box will be 15 minus 2x. You need to show the volume. Clearly it is a cuboid, and volume of a cuboid V is length into breadth into height. In this case, length is 25 minus 2x multiplied by the breadth or width, which is 15 minus 2x. 15 minus 2x into height, and if you see, this is the height, which is equal to the length of the cut piece, which is x. So into x. If you multiply all these three factors, that means 25 minus 2x multiplied with these brackets, you will get 4 terms, and then these 4 terms will be multiplied with the x. Finally, you will have V is equal to 4x cubed minus 8x squared plus 375x. So clearly there's no need to worry about, but you should be good in multiplications. I hope you will get the result. Part B. Use calculus to find the value of x to 3 significant figures for which the volume of the box is maximum. Okay. Now, whenever they talk about maximum and minimum value, it's all about calculus, derivative, and the tangent line. And we must have some equation or some function. In this case, we have a volume of the box as a function of x. So the idea is, we need to find the derivative of the volume. That means we need to find dv by dx. And this dv by dx, which is the derivative of volume, is in fact gradient of a tangent line on the given curve. So suppose we have a curve of any shape, and I draw a tangent line at any point, like I can choose this point. So the tangent line, like this green line is the tangent line. So in fact, if we have a equation of this function, and if we differentiate the function and we find derivative like dy by dx, so this dv by dx will be gradient of this tangent line. So, and at maximum and minimum, this dv by dx is always has a 0 gradient, because if you see, this is the minimum of this function and this is the maximum, and if you draw the tangent line of this either on minimum or maximum, you always have a horizontal line, and horizontal line means gradient 0. This is the idea that we always use whenever they talk about maximum and minimum. So the idea is we need to differentiate first v, and we equate dv by dx equate or equal to 0, and we figure out the values of x, and then we see what is coming next. So the first step is differentiate. Okay, now so let's differentiate. So v is 4x cubed minus 80x squared plus 375x. If you differentiate, so you dv by dx would be equal to 12x squared minus 40x minus not 40 minus 160, okay, minus 160x and plus 375. This is the derivative of v. In fact, this is the gradient of the tangent line, and at maximum value this gradient should be 0. So I can rewrite 12x squared minus 160x plus 375 equal to 0. You can use your quadratic formula to find the values of x, or you can use your calculator. So when you use the quadratic formula, and remember the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac root divided by 2a. This is the quadratic formula. You can plug in all the values. If you plug in, then x is equal to, you will get two values. One is 3.03 and the next value of x is 10.3. Okay, so we need to choose which one is the valid value. Sometimes both are valid, we need to figure out, or sometimes one is valid, one is not. We need to give the reason why we are choosing, why are we ignoring the other one. In this case, remember the width of the box is 15 minus 2x. So if you take x is equal to 10.3, and if you plug in the value x is equal to 10.3, clearly this side will be negative, and which is not possible. That means x cannot be 10.3. So you can say that since x cannot be 10.3, so your value is x is equal to 3.03. This is the value of x at which the volume of the box is maximum. Okay, part C, justify that this value of x gives a maximum value of v. Okay, if you need to prove that the found values of x is in fact gives you a maximum or minimum, the idea is you need to find the second derivative. That means you figure out d2v by dx2, and then you check the sign of d2v or double derivative at the found value of x. So if d2v by dx2 or second derivative, if this is negative value at a found value, if it comes negative, that means the function is maximum. And if you found second derivative positive value at found x, then your function is minimum. So if you see, your your first derivative that you found in your previous example, dv by dx, was 12 x square minus 160x plus 375. And if you differentiate this again, so you have d2v by dx2 equal to 24x minus 160 minus 160. This is the second derivative. Now you need to put at x equal to 3.03, and clearly you can see that if you put x equal to 3.03, so 24 times of 3 minus 160, clearly it is less than 0. It is less than 0. That means v is maximum at x is equal to 3.03. D. Find two three significant figures the maximum volume of the box. Okay, you need to find the maximum volume. So we have proved that at x is equal to 3.03, whatever the volume is, if the volume is maximum. So the final situation, or the final answer, we need to find the volume, the maximum volume. So you just substitute x equal to 3.03 in original equation to figure out what the volume is. So you just put 3.03 in place of x. So v is equal to 4 times of 3.03 whole cube minus 80 x square 3.03 whole square plus 375 times of 3.03. When you solve this, your volume would be 513. You can say cubic unit. Question number 8. Figure 3 shows a sketch of the curve with the equation y equal to f of x. X belongs to real. Okay, the curve crosses the y-axis at the point 0,5. Okay, and the crosses the x-axis at 6,0. This is x and y intercepts. The curve has a minimum point at 1,3 and the maximum point at 4,7. On a separate diagram, sketch the curve with the equation y equal to minus fx and y equal to f of 2x. Okay, so we need to sketch on a separate diagram. Okay, so let's see, this is the curve which is given. Okay, so let's see, this is the curve that we have given, and they are asking to sketch on a separate diagram f of minus x, and in part B they are asking you to sketch f of 2x. This is part B and that one is part A. So if you see f of minus x, this minus is showing reflection of the curve along y-axis. And what does this mean? Reflection along y-axis means sine of x coordinates of all the points. Sine of x coordinates are just switched, meaning if the x coordinates are positive, you make it negative, or if it is negative, you can make it positive. So you can say that this is 6,0 it will become minus 6 0 after reflection. So 1 3 becomes minus 1 and 3. 4 7 becomes minus 4 comma 7, and 0 5 0 is already 0, so you don't need to think about it. You just need to reflect the graph along the y-axis, and these are the new position of all these given points. So what do you need to do? You need to think, okay, so your graph will be something like this, and this coordinate will be 0 5, there's no change, and this minimum point which was 1 3, now you can see that it should be minus 1 on the other side, so minus 1 comma 3, and this point will be 4 7, now it is minus 4 and 7, and this x-axis is now minus 6 and 0. So this is the graph of f of minus x. Let's talk about part B, f of 2x. This 2x is stretching, and as this is the coefficient of 2, that means all x coordinate, remember, all x coordinates are changed or stretched by factor of 1 upon 2. So meaning you need to multiply every x coordinate with the half. We always do like that. If this is 2, we take it 1 upon 2. If there is a 4, we will take 1 upon 4. If there is a 1 upon 2, then we multiply with the factor 2. We always take reciprocal. So every x coordinate is multiplied by 2. That means this 6 0 becomes 3 0 for f of 2x. This 4 7 becomes 2 comma 7, and this 1 3 becomes 1 upon 2 comma 3, and this is 0 5, so x coordinate 0 remains 0. So you can think that you can do that. This is a y-axis and this is x-axis. So your graph of f of 2x is compressed by the factor of 1 upon 2. So something like this, and you can mark the coordinate. This coordinate should be 3 0. This is 2 comma 7. So there is somewhere here, sorry about that. Yes, this is the lower point, and then coordinate of this lower point should be half comma 3, and this point stays same, 0 and 5. So this is the sketch of, so you just ignore this portion. This is the curve. I hope you understood. Okay, let's see question number 9. The first term of the geometric series is 20 and the common ratio is 0.9. Find the value of the fifth term. Okay, so fine. A is 20 and R is 0.9. You need to find the value of the fifth term. So fifth term u5 is equal to AR4. So you can plug in A is 20 and R is 0.9, and you can calculate, and you say that u5 is 13.122. Okay, this is u5. Now find the sum of the first 8 terms, giving your answer to one decimal place. Okay, find the sum of 8 terms. Sum of 8 term means you need to find S8, and it is all about geometric series. In geometric series, sum of n term. So this is part B. Sum of n term Sn is equal to A times of 1 minus R whole power n divided by 1 minus R. And they are asking about 8 term. That means n is equal to 8. So your formula becomes S8 is equal to 21 minus 0.98 over 1 minus 0.9. So you can solve this, and you can find S8 is 103.9. This is sum of the 8 term. Okay, given that S infinity minus Sn is less than 0.04, where Sn is the sum of the first n terms of the series, show that 0.9 to the power n is less than 0.0002. So you need to drive, or you need to show this inequality using these given condition. Okay, so fine. S infinity. This is S infinity. You know that the S infinity is A upon 1 minus R. This is the formula for S infinity, and you can say that S infinity is 20 divided by 1 minus 0.9. This is your S infinity. And what about sum of n terms? That means Sn. So your Sn is equal to 21 minus 0.9 whole power n divided by 1 minus 0.9. And they are saying S infinity minus Sn is less than 4. So you can rewrite as 21 minus 0.9 minus 21 minus 0.9n divided by 1 minus 0.9 is less than 0.04. This is the given condition, and the rest of the thing is all about your algebra. You need to simplify, multiply, and divide, and you need to simplify till what you can do. So 1 minus 0.9 is a 0.1, and of course both denominators are same, so you can send 0.1 on the other side, and then you multiply this 20, so 20 will get cancelled. Okay, so try it, see if you can simplify. At the end you should get 0.9 whole power n less than 0.0002. I'm not solving it because it's just algebra. I hope you can solve it. Part D, hence find the smallest possible value of n. Okay, you need to find the value of n, and if you see in your part C, you prove that 0.9 whole power n is less than 0.002, and 0.9 to the power n, this is exponential form. So what you can do is you can apply log on both sides to calculate value of n, because without log you cannot bring n down. So you can apply log on both sides. So I'm applying log of base 10. So log of base 10 0.9 power n is less than log of 0.0002, and according to log one of the law, this n now can come down before log. So n is log of 0.9 less than log of 0.0002, and n is, you divided the whole inequality with log of 0.9, so n is greater than log of 0.0002 divided by log of 0.9. When we solve this, so n is greater than 80.84, that means n must be 81. This is the answer. Now in this solution, there's one important key point that I did here is, if you see in this step, I had n log of 0.9 less than log of 0.002. When I divided log of 0.9, I flipped the sign of inequality. It is because log of 0.9, this is negative value. So in inequality, whenever we multiply or divide with the negative value or with the negative number, we have to flip the sign of inequality to make a valid statement. So for example, you can see that if you have an inequality like minus 3 is less than, let's say I say 1, which is true. Minus 3 is less than minus 1. What if I multiply or divide this inequality with minus 2? Multiply the whole inequality with the minus 2. So now it becomes 6 and it becomes minus 2. Clearly, you cannot write 6 is less than, because due to negative sign, the relation change. So you will have to say 6 is greater than minus 2. That's why we flip always we flip the sign of inequality. I hope you understood. Okay, question number 10. Use algebra. Use the laws of logarithm to solve the equation. 3 log of, okay, base log 10 2 and log of 8 7 minus x plus equal 2 plus log of 8. Okay, so you need to solve this equation. That means you need to find x. In these types of equation, what do we do? If we have a logs more than one log, so what do? We collect all the logs on one side, so we can apply laws of logarithm. So the first step is collect all the terms involving log on one side and rest of the numbers I will send on the other side. So you can say that this can be written as 3 log of base 8 of this is 8 of 2 plus log of 8 7 minus x, and this log 8 x is on the other side, so minus log of 8 x and equal to 2. And then before applying log, this 3 is in the coefficient, so I will apply the laws of the log of power rule. So this 3 can go back to the power of 2, so you can say that this is in fact log of 8 2 to the power 3 plus log of 8 7 minus x in the bracket and minus log of 8 x equal to 2. In fact, if you are okay with this step, so you can skip these steps, so this is fine. Now we have 3 logs and these 2 logs are being added and this one is subtracted, so you can rewrite all these terms in a single log as log of 8 2 to the power 3 multiplied by 7 minus x divided by x and 2. These 2 are being added, so now they multiplied and then it is subtracted, it comes in denominator. Okay, so when you remove this log of 8 to calculate this x, that means taking anti-log, so the other side goes into the power of 8. So the only thing left is, if you simplify, you can say that it is 2 cubed is 8, 7 minus x divided by x is equal to 8 square. And now it is algebra, you can cross multiply and you can solve for x, so finally you have values of x is equal to 7 by 9. Part 2, using algebra to find in term of logarithm the exact value of y for which 3 to the power 2y plus 3y plus 1 is equal to 10. Generally this is again exponential form, so what do? We try to convert this exponential form into a quadratic equation. So you can think of this equation as 3y, no, it's not a 3y, 3y whole square, the first term, plus 3y into 3, because you can say that 3y plus 1, you can break y plus 1 as 3 into 3 and 1y, so equal to 10. And now if you assume let x equal 3 to the power y, now you have, if you put x here, so you have x square plus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Now it is a quadratic equation, so you can use your quadratic formula or factorization, you can solve and you can find 2 values of x. If you do that, you have x is equal to minus 5 and then x is equal to 2. So now you say that x is equal to 3y, so 3 to the power y is equal to minus 5 and 3 to the power y is equal to 2 values of x. Clearly you cannot solve this because If you find value of y, you have a negative number, so you are going to use log. That means this equation cannot be simplified for the meantime for you. So because negative log does not exist, so log of negative number does not exist, that's why we cannot solve it. So this is the end story of this. Now we can solve this. We can apply log to figure out y. So log of 3 to the power y equal to log of 2, and y goes down, so y log of 3 equal to log of 2. That means y is equal to log of 2 over log of 3. This is the exact value of y that they are asking. Okay, thank you very much. That's it for this video. This was the second video. I hope I will make a third video for the rest of the question of this paper. See you soon. Take care.